And hey, if you're looking forward to the temperature dropping, sweater weather, apple picking, pumpkin spice lattes, football, you name it, another staple of fall, of course, the wonderful changing colors of the season, you are in luck because lead long-range meteorologist Paul Pastelak, you've been working hard on AccuWeather's fall foliage forecast, and he's joining us right now to discuss what we can expect this fall. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning. I don't know if you noticed, with this cool air mass in place, some of the folks in the Northeast maybe a little slightly on the lower tint of the green on the trees. You're starting to see the trees making a difference right now. So it's not changing to those yellows, reds, and orange just yet, but you can notice out there, if you look carefully, not as green as they looked about a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, Paul, I have noticed. I don't have the best vision, but I am very attentive to detail, and I was like, are those trees changing? All right, on that note, what parts of the United States could see some of the best fall foliage this season?
Well, if you're really serious about looking at the fall foliage across the United States and you're willing enough to travel, I think you got to go west of the Appalachians and stay east of the Central Plains states, right smack in that middle of that red area, looking really good. And the reason why, this area did receive rain from time to time during the growing season, and that's good, kept the trees healthy. And now we're going into the early part of the fall season, and it's drying out in these areas, and that's a good sign. That's what you need as we go into the early fall. More sunshine, cool nights. We have the cool air mass in place, and that is going to bring out the colors around Chicago, Minneapolis, Green Bay, St. Louis. Going to be beautiful in that area.
Well, Paul, someone from the Northeast is sitting and looking at this map and seeing kind of the yellows and the tans color. What does that mean? You know, the Northeast very well known for its leaf peeping season, and how's the season looking there?
Really hard in the Northeast. There's so many things that have gone on this year and what's expected going through the month of September, early October. Keep in mind that yellow area may be typical colors, but you're in between. Some areas may be good, some areas may be seeing more yellows and browns. But where there's been less rain, north and west, Pennsylvania, New York State, I think it's going to be a beautiful fall foliage site. Reds and oranges really bright as we dry out here in September. Unfortunately, the farther east you go around the 95 corridor, we've had a lot of rainfall this summer. We've also going to see even more rainfall coming in the future days, and that's probably going to dull the colors a little bit. And also, some of the trees shutting down early may drop the leaves a little bit earlier, especially in the central and southern Appalachians where they saw drought conditions over the summer season. So looks a little less intense in that part of the country.
All right, well, let's look ahead here. We're kind of crunching some of the numbers and looking at some of the temperature departures because that is a huge role here in some of our leaf colors changing. What can you tell us about this map?
Yeah, you look at the temperature departures, that means you're probably seeing more sunshine. The only bad thing about it is in the eastern Rockies and western plains, it's been pretty dry this summer, and so there's been some stress on the trees. So it's not going to be spectacular, but it should be okay, I think, when we get into the peak of the season. It's the rainfall outlook that we're seeing here, precipitation, where it's drier going throughout September into early fall. That's where we're going to probably see our best conditions here as far as, more sunshine and the cooler nights. That really brings out the brighter colors as well. So I think that setup is more likely Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, interior Northeast, while the West still dealing with some heat stress. I think things will improve, though, as the fall goes on.
All right, final question for you, Paul. Areas like Dallas, Tulsa, Little Rock, all highlighted as an area that could have a vibrant season. Do they usually have impressive fall foliage? If not, why does this year look a little bit better than normal?
People forget there are state parks in around Houston and Dallas and those areas, and they do change in colors. Unfortunately, it's later into the fall. You got to go into November and early December before you start seeing the colors down there. But in northwest Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma, northern Louisiana, it should be really nice, and it should come out probably late October, early November. The brightness is going to be really good in that part of the country because of the fact that we have seen some wet weather and some drier weather now coming on here in September.
Well, Paul, people weren't in the fall season yet. I think you definitely made everyone really excited here for what's ahead. Lead long-range meteorologist Paul Pastelak, thanks again for joining us this morning.
Yep.